It's Wednesday. Welcome to our Wednesday Wellness Tip. Today's spiritual tip was inspired by Joel Osteen, whom I occasionally hear on the radio on my way to and from work. And this particular session really inspired me. He told about Job. Now, most of us have heard of Job, and he is the one in the Bible who was very prosperous. He had 10 children, and all of a sudden he suffered a complete reversal of his prosperity. Some of his children got sick, and we think of Job as unmerited suffering. I've heard about Job for years. Because in life, things happen. How many of us have gone through things that seem to be unmerited? But what Joel talked about, and what I never knew, is that, first of all, Job's trials and tribulations lasted a total of 9 months. Now, I had the impression it was his whole entire life, but it was only 9 months. And I thought this was very synchronistic, because think about it. We are pregnant for 9 months before we have a baby. Well, we don't remember the 9 months of our pregnancy after we have children. We remember the birth and the joy of having a child. So this really struck me. And Joel pointed out that the last chapter about Job talks about how he admitted that he was powerless, he didn't understand what he was going through. And again, how many of us have been there? We don't understand what life has dealt us. But we go through it, we continue to have faith, knowing that it's going to turn out all right, and we continue to trust in the divine process. And the last chapter speaks that Job went on to live for over 100 years. His prosperity regained. In fact, he got twice as much as what he had before, what he had lost. He went on to know his children, his grandchildren, and even his great-grandchildren. Now, I admit I had never heard of that part of the story. So this inspired me greatly. So if you're experiencing some trial or tribulation, keep the faith. Don't hesitate to ask for help, and know that this too shall pass. And you can enjoy a prosperity long after the trials and tribulations.